Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into an incredibly structured, step-by-step mapping of Uchiha Fugaku's rapid transformation into an absolutely unstoppable powerhouse. Seriously, if you've ever wondered how far a character could push the boundaries of their universe, and I mean fundamentally break the rules to do it, you are in for a treat today. Okay, picture this. What if Uchiha Fugaku didn't just survive his clan's downfall, but completely hacked the ninja world's power system? In this alternate timeline explainer, we're going to look at exactly how Fugaku breaks the rules of his universe using this incredibly tactical, almost RPG-style power stacking approach. Because listen, this isn't just about getting stronger, it's about systematically breaking the game. Let's see how he builds his ultimate skill tree. So, let's kick things off with Section 1, the Twin Mangekyo abilities, where we establish his baseline. To really understand how Fugaku breaks the system, we first need to look at his starting point. Let's talk about the terrifying power of his right eye, True Illusion. It's a Mangekyo dojutsu that literally converts illusionary damage into actual, real-world physical injury. Fugaku brilliantly exploits this to cast sealless jutsu and just completely defy all combat logic. When he traps enemies like Shimura Ryoma or the traitor Uchiha Sen in this space, any damage he inflicts on them inside the illusion actually manifests on their physical bodies. It is an absolute game changer. And, to really wrap your head around the sheer scale of this power spike, just compare Fugaku's True Illusion to Itachi's legendary Tsukuyomi. The difference is staggering. While Tsukuyomi is obviously devastating, it inflicts purely mental trauma. True Illusion, on the other hand, causes physical, real-world damage. You can see why this benchmarks a completely new level of threat in combat. Moving over to his left eye, we have Corpse Refinement. This dojutsu allows him to absorb a recently deceased body to actually inherit their talents and their Kekkei Genkai, their bloodline limits. Now, the original Fugaku, he completely ignored this ability out of pure Uchiha arrogance, basically thinking his own bloodline was already perfect. But our protagonist, he puts it to work immediately. His first target is Yamanaka Kaze, which is a strategic genius move that instantly enhances his sensory skills to a massive degree, giving him the battlefield awareness he desperately needs, which leads directly to his ultimate blueprint. He systematically solves his inherent weaknesses by farming very specific targets. He starts with Yamanaka Kaze to acquire those sensory abilities. Then he targets White Zetsu for Hashirama cells. After that, he farms the Yuki clan for ice release, and finally, the Kaguya clan for their Shikotsumyaku bone manipulation. It's literally the exact recipe for turning yourself into a one-man army. Moving right along to Section 2, curing the Mangekyo blindness with the Hashirama cell solution. So Fugaku faces a major roadblock here. Using the Mangekyo inevitably causes blindness, and he urgently needs a cure to resist mind control threats. This leads us to the high-stakes White Zetsu heist. Usually, transplanting Hashirama cells is super lethal. Uchiha Madara spent decades just surviving the rejection risks. But Fugaku realizes that by hunting down a White Zetsu clone and using corpse refinement, he completely bypasses the risk. He gains perfect compatibility instantly. Think about what this means for his overall stat boosts. It completely halts his Mangekyo blindness and actively heals his existing eye damage, which massively boosts his ocular power right out of the gate. Plus, after refining multiple clones, he unlocks the legendary wood release and the ability to create spore clones. He quite literally took his greatest physical vulnerability and reverse-engineered it into this incredible regenerative strength. Which brings us to my personal favorite, Section 3, Hacking the 8 Gates and the Infinite Resurrection Loop. Okay, things get truly crazy right here. The 8 Gates is a notorious suicide technique, right? But Fugaku targets it to drastically min-max his physical power. So how do you bypass a technique that is guaranteed to kill you? Step 1. Fugaku casts True Illusion on himself. Step 2. He opens all 8 gates inside the illusion. Step 3. He outputs massive, world-ending power, dies, and because he's in his own illusion, he resurrects instantly. He isolates the fatal damage to an illusionary body while outputting real-world destruction. It's a brilliant, completely game-breaking infinite loop. And to show you just how terrifying this infinite Night Guy level output truly is, consider this reaction from Orochimaru. Compared to me, you're the real monster. He literally says this during their epic battle, right as Fugaku is repeatedly obliterating Orochimaru's giant 8-headed serpent form. Listen, when a guy known worldwide as an unkillable, twisted snake scientist calls you a monster, yeah, you know you've fundamentally broken the scaling system. Next up is Section 4, Stealing the Bloodline Limits during the Land of Water heist. But wait, Fugaku still isn't satisfied. He needs more elemental and physical versatility. So he executes a tactical infiltration of the Land of Water's battlefields. And the sheer volume of this heist is just wild. He started small with one Yamanaka corpse, right? But here, he takes over a dozen Yuki corpses, granting him Kage-level ice release. Then, he heavily targets the Kaguya clan during their rebellion, farming over 50 corpses. He is systematically draining the battlefield of its absolute most powerful genetic assets. Which raises the ultimate min-maxing question. Can refining Kaguya corpses actually evolve Shigotsumiyaku into the 6 paths level, all-killing ash bones? He is legitimately trying to push his skeleton past metal-level durability and straight into the realm of the gods. So, 50 plus. That's the magic number here. After refining over 50 Kaguya corpses, Fugaku hits a wall. He realizes he couldn't reach that 6 paths level just by stacking normal corpses. However, he absolutely hits the peak limit for Super Kage potential. His bones become virtually indestructible, granting him this armor that few in the entire world could ever hope to even scratch. And that leads us to the climax in Section 5, reaching Super Cage level, the ultimate accumulation. We're moving to the climax now, where all these stacked skill trees finally culminate. Right before confronting the shadow operative Danzo, Fugaku makes this really cold realization. The Shiketsumiyaku is theoretically equivalent in rank to the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan and Wood release. By systematically hacking his own genetics, this stacked physical bloodline has actually surpassed his base Mangekyo Sharingan in pure destructive potential. He has effectively built a second god-tier power source inside his own body. So, the crucial point in the battle is what we call the Susuno trap. Danzo brings 100 men, totally banking on the fact that Fugaku's giant chakra avatar, the Susuno, will quickly drain his energy. But Danzo completely fails to account for the massive chakra multipliers Fugaku gained from the White Setsu, Yuki, and Kaguya fusions. Danzo thinks he's fighting a regular boss, but this guy has a health bar that is 50 times larger than he thinks it is. Let's just tally up this final combination of abilities, shall we? He has infinite 8th gate output, a Super Kage-level bone armor, vastly expanded chakra reserves, and he can cast sealless jutsu from inside his true illusion. I mean, it is a complete slaughter. He wipes out half of the 100-man root force in minutes with endless fire style and stamina. It's the ultimate payoff for his RPG-style power stacking. Which leaves us with one incredibly fascinating final thought. With Super Kage level power successfully achieved through brilliant system hacking, what forbidden limit will Fugaku break next? When a character fundamentally breaks the universe's scaling system, what happens when they set their eyes on their next target? It really makes you rethink the boundaries of the whole ninja world, doesn't it? Thanks for joining me on The Explainer today, and I'll see you on the next deep dive.